And the reason why is that networking can be scary. Okay. It can be a scary prospect because it feels inauthentic. It feels salesy. It feels like somebody wants something from you or you want something from somebody. And so what I like to remind people is that this is really just, it's about building real relationships. I wasn't doing any networking because I was head down solely and overly focused on the four walls of my job. And I realized that I needed to lift my head up and try to connect with people in a real way. And in those first 9 months, I asked 205 people to meet with me, and 200 of them met with me. And I don't know if that's a big number or a small number, but that's my number. And the truth is that I know the names of those other five people. And I say it kind of as a joke, but I really do. I know their names. I know the names of the people who said, no, I won't meet with you, because it hurt. It was really painful. But frankly, they're irrelevant. It was the 200, again, that led me to every new opportunity. And so to the extent that a young person can get that in their mind, that most people, irrespective of age, experience, background, are going to say, yes, I'd be delighted to meet with you. I think it can be incredibly fruitful. And then it was time for me to go do my own thing. So I launched a company called Coffee Lunch Coffee. And what Coffee Lunch Coffee does is it trains people to build better, more meaningful professional relationships in an authentic manner that are mutually beneficial and bidirectional in nature. I joke that the name of my company is Coffee Lunch Coffee, and where that came from is the way I structured my days. So again, as you all have helped me to share, I don't drink coffee. So this is not about consumption. What it's about is carving out regular, dedicated time in your life to connect with other people. And so the idea for me, it really is coffee, lunch, coffee, a morning meeting time frame, a midday meeting time frame, and an afternoon meeting time frame. And frankly, when I first came up with that, it was the idea of coffee, lunch, coffee was kind of a joke, but the structure was not. The structure was very specific. I know that if I'm generous with my time, information, and resources, that down the line, I'm going to reap the benefits of that generosity in ways unimagined. From my point of view, the best kind of networking is this is the over the long haul, right? It's the long game, long tail networking. And what it's about, it's a series of touch points over time. And each time we touch base, each time we come together, we're establishing a little deeper connection and a little deeper connection and more trust and more commitment and more honesty. I think we have to recognize that this is not about what have you done for me lately? It's what can I do to help you? And by asking that question, again, the rewards that you will reap, the benefits that come back are immeasurable, they're immense. Transactional networking to me is very much, if I give you a referral today, I expect one from you tomorrow. And I just don't think that authentic networking happens in that way. I think it's, I know that this expression is sometimes overused, but the notion of paying it forward, I think that's what real networking is. Without expecting that somebody owes you something, how do you build trust over time? It's a series of touch points. And I'm no fool, right? I mean, this is not just for our health and good fortune. Sometimes there is a transaction. But if I call Steve and Steve sees that it's me on his caller ID, I hope that we've built a trusting enough relationship that he's willing to pick up the phone and say, hey, Alana, great to hear from you. And I'll tell you, people are people are people are people around the world. And what I've discovered is that while sometimes my message needs to be acculturated based on geography, that at the end of the day, that people are people are people, and building relationships is building relationships in any language. What I often recommend to people, irrespective of age, is that if you feel uncomfortable going into a networking situation, bring a buddy. Just don't be attached to each other the whole time. There's never going to be a replacement for face-to-face, eye-to-eye contact. Never, 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 never. And in networking, sadly, that there can be winners and losers, but the truth is everybody can be a winner if they're open to this notion that they're establishing and building a relationship over time, that they can't expect that they're going to reap the benefit immediately, that it's over time that benefit builds. But I hope that some of you today will leave your homes or leave your home offices or even your offices and go have a cup of coffee with somebody else. Go for a walk and run into other human beings. I could not have charted this course in a way, you know, say 20, 30 years ago. I couldn't have put this down on paper. But the truth is, as I look back, every position led to every next position, led to every next position or opportunity. And the thing that I like to tell people is that to the extent that you can, it's really critical, I believe, to leverage opportunities when they present themselves. What I've now been able to do is to not only with the podcast, but with teaching, with facilitating events, is I've been able to carry the Coffee Lunch Coffee networking message, not just nationwide, but globally. And so that's something that I'm working to do as well, is to sort of highlight the benefits and the importance of building meaningful, authentic connections with other people around the world.